Now then, in this short video we're going to take a look at recommended down jackets for climbing the Ecuadorial volcanoes, Chimborazo or Cotopaxi. Very high mountains, pretty accessible actually. You can get to high altitudes quite quickly in this area, but because of the technical style of climbing these mountains and because of the altitude, you really need to look closely at the warmth of the down clothing that you're taking with you, and of course the weight. Now all three of these jackets are super lightweight jackets. They're PhD K series jackets filled with 1000 fill power down and made in very, very lightweight fabric. And the weight to warmth performance is what we've worked on here, trying to get the warmest possible garments but at the lowest possible weight. Now the weight is of importance for two reasons. One, of course, you don't feel the weight of a garment when you're wearing it, but when you're carrying it you do. And the second thing is, the lighter the weight, the smaller it packs down. So the packed down bulk size of the garment, when it's put away inside your rucksack, that's also worth knowing. So this weight to warmth performance is critical, and the lighter the better, of course. And then that on top of that, there's this added problem of baggage allowance on airplanes when you're traveling. So the lighter the gear, the smaller it packs down, the better, really, isn't it? So we've got three jackets here, all super lightweight, but all warm enough and suitable for Cotopaxi and Chimborazo. Let's start at look at the lightest end of them first. The first jacket I'm going to recommend is the Yukon, the PhD Yukon K-Series Yukon. It's filled with 1000 fill power down because that's 1000 fill power is the highest quality down in the world. And when we're talking about quality, we're talking about loft, how much depth of loft you get, and therefore how much warmth you get from it per given weight. The higher the loft figure, the higher the quality. So it's 1000 fill power down. The outer is made in ultra shell, that's a water resistant fabric to protect the down, and the inner is made out of 10X, PhD's 10X fabric, a very, very lightweight, windproof and downproof fabric that really allows the down to loft close to you and keep you warmer. So let's just look at the warmth and the weight. The Yukon jacket, it's got an incredible typical operating temperature of -15 degrees centigrade, so it's rated at -15. It's remarkable. It doesn't look the sort of jacket that would give you that warmth because it looks like an ultra lightweight short puffer, but in fact it's got a box wall construction. So the outer fabric and the inner fabric, the two layers of fabric where the chamber is created to fill the down, that chamber has the construction of it has a fabric wall in between the outer and the inner, a box wall. They call it a box wall in the down industry, and it's what we do with expedition equipment, and it's what we do with sleeping bags where you need more warmth when you're asleep. So it's got a box wall construction to create a greater depth of down to give you more warmth. So it's got a rating of -15 degrees C. It only weighs around 380 grams, so it's really, really light, a really lightweight piece of gear. Packs down into a stuff sack, very lightweight when you pack it and carry it, and you're having to put it in your on-board luggage allowance on a plane and so on. Really, really useful to have such a small pack down size, but a significant amount of warmth. It's got a temperature of -15. Now, looking at the temperature ratings of these mountains, daytime temperatures could go down to about -10, but nighttime temperatures down to -20. And this is a mountain, these mountains are typically started in the early hours of the day in the darkness before the hot equatorial sun hits down on the snow and starts to melt the snow on the glaciers, and which really makes travel very, very difficult through deep soft snow. So you take the advantage of the cold freezing temperatures of night when the snow's frozen, and you can skip along it quickly or get over it quickly. So you really want warm conditions. So this is the lightest end you could go. The Yukon jacket rated at -15. Let's just have a look through the details before I put it to one side. You've got hand warmer pockets down at the waist. These are insulated pockets, so your hand goes inside the garment, it goes under the down. The pocket bag is on the inside there. Hand warmer pockets are fantastic because if you've got into trouble with your hands, you know, if your gloves have got wet or you've not got enough gloves, or the gloves aren't keeping you warm and so on, if you've got into trouble and your fingers have turned white and so on, these pockets are insulated and they're fantastic to help you out, reheat your hands. So 2 hand warmer pockets there, a chest pocket Again, this is a large pocket. It's always accessible. It's above the harness line, and if you've got a hip belt on a rucksack and so on, this pocket isn't covered over. It's deep enough to hold mitts and gloves and things like that, and snacks, but it's also insulated. Again, the pocket bag's inside the garment. You're actually going under the down, and that means it's perfect for any battery-driven equipment like a smartphone, a camera, or GPS. Anything where you really want to look after the battery and make sure that you're getting the maximum lifespan you can get from that battery. But equally, this pocket is very accessible. It's a really good pocket for cameras and things. The jacket comes with a hood. The hood is down-filled box wall construction, again, that elaborate construction where these fabric layers are held apart with a box wall, a fabric wall to hold the down there. And this is removable, so if you don't want the hat on, if you don't want the hood, if you're going to use a hat instead, you can take it off. But they are incredibly warm, so if you find yourself slowing down, if the party's moving slowly, if the group you're in's moving slowly, or there's a delay up ahead of you because of another party taking their time, it's great to have an insulated hood to really get some warmth around you. It's got a down right round the front of the chin guard, elasticated round the front to close it down, but lightweight down-filled hood. Just have a look at the inside. We've got this beautiful lightweight fabric, PhD's 10X fabric, downproof, windproof, and it gets the down to loft more. Okay, we've got one other feature here. We've got a windproof under baffle there to stop air getting through the zip. One other feature here just to mention is these zip pulls. We've made them in reflect. That's purely a safety feature for nighttime location. That will be picked up by the beam of a torch very quickly at night. Okay, so that's the Yukon, lightest of the lot, suitable for these big mountains. Let's go up one to the Rondoy. Now this is rated at -20. Okay, so it's a bit warmer than the Yukon, and it's also a bigger piece of equipment. It's designed in the form of a mountaineer's piece, so it's slightly longer. It covers the waist, the thighs, and it comes onto the top of the hips there. Drop tail hem, cord lock adjustment round the hem, Velcro cuffs so you can have mitts inside your cuff or over the top, and a high down-filled collar to keep out the cold. And here we've got a bigger hood. It's a helmet hood, so it's more significant. Box wall construction, down-filled chin guard around the front, and Velcro adjustment there. Cord locks to adjust the face of the hood, and a volume reducer on the back there to adjust the volume of the hood to get it to fit properly around your helmet or your head. But again, it's detachable. It's zipped on, this one, and it can be removed if you don't want it. It can be taken off. Now, the front of the zip is covered with an insulated storm baffle to prevent cold air getting through the zip. Let's undo it and let you look at the inside. 1000 fill power down again, ultra shell on the outer, water resistant fabric, and 10 denier fabric on the inner to really let that down loft. Now here we've got an elasticated set of panels on the inside. We've used shearing elastic or elasticated thread to pull the jacket in close to you. The idea there is to pull the garment closer to your body so the down drapes closely around your body shape, so you get that insulation layer close to you, so you get the maximum benefit you can get from it. We've got a pocket on the inside here, which is a large pocket. It's big enough for a water bottle, an Nalgene, a 1 litre Nalgene bottle. It'll go in there. That's a security pocket, so to hold credit cards or keys or something. There's a key hook there, but it's the sort of pocket you can put stuff in and forget, so the stuff's there at the end of the day. Or you could use it alternatively for water, to prevent water freezing, keep it inside your garment. Okay, so that's the Rondoy. Now it's rated at -20, and it's 500 grams, about 500 grams. So again, it's a very warm piece of equipment, really suitable for this sort of thing. Of course, the Rondoy, the Andean mountain, It's designed for these sorts of expeditions. Very, very warm, but equally very, very lightweight and packs down. One size up, one stage up from the Yukon. So -20, absolutely brilliant for these sorts of expeditions. Lightweight equipment, but equally lightweight, and has a relatively small pack down size when you're travelling out to these countries and so on. I've gone one further. I've gone on to another jacket here, which is significantly warmer but very, very light, and that's why I still think it's perfect for this sort of expedition where you want a high level of warmth but you really don't want a high level of weight. So the Hispar is rated at -30, but it weighs 575 grams. I'm smiling because that's so lightweight. It's incredibly lightweight. And this, of course, is a piece of equipment you would choose if you were very concerned about the cold, if you're a person that really feels the cold, then the Hispar is worth considering. But it's also a jacket you'd consider if you'd got other objectives in mind, other years and so on. So if you've got some Himalayan trekking and Himalayan climbing in mind, onto some of the Himalayan peaks, or you're going onto colder expeditions, it's worth considering this. So it's not too heavy for these Ecuadorian volcanoes, but it certainly is warm enough for them, and it's warm enough to do bigger adventures later on. So the Hispar, only 575 grams for the medium. Let's just run through it quickly. Again, it's a full-length mountaineer's piece, comes down onto the upper thigh. Cord lock adjustment around the bottom and around the hem, and a drop tail hem. Adjustable cuffs, high down-filled collar. I mention those because those are the 3 points where cold air ingress, cold air can get into the garment, so the system of lockdown around it is important. We've got a insulated storm baffle over the front zip. Now here we've got a couple of other things. I'll just talk about the hood first. The hood is, again, it's a helmet compatible hood. Very significant box wall construction, so a lot of down in it, very, very warm. Velcro chin guard adjustment, and that's down-filled, so very insulated. It's removable again with a zip attachment, so it can be taken off if you don't want it. Volume reducer on the back. Right, now let's get to some the changes here. This piece is designed specifically to be very warm and very, very light. So it's a minimalistic piece. It doesn't have lots of features it doesn't need. Let's just run through what it does have. On the front there we have a adjustable cord waist adjustment, just to pull the garment in and make it fit better, just to get it to fit really well, so it's not big and bulky and blocky. You want it to just pull it in a little bit. So there's a lightweight adjustable cord system on the outside there. We've got insulated zip baffle over the top of the front zip there, but on this jacket we've just got the 2 pockets on the chest. So these are hand warmer pockets. They're actually angled so you can get your hand in easily. Your hand goes under this insulation again, so hand warmer pockets, good to warm the hands, but also great for battery driven equipment where you want to keep the battery working as long as you can in low temperatures. Not all battery driven equipment copes very well with -10 and -20 and so on, so keeping the batteries very warm is really useful. So those are the 2 pockets there. There's none down at the waist, and that is because we're trying to make this garment as light as possible, and the pockets are up above the harness level or the hip belt level. For the hip belt of a rucksack can close down that area, so these pockets are highly accessible. Let's just have a look at the inside. And again, on this garment we've got a large pocket there. It's a security pocket, zipped. It's also big enough for a water bottle. But here you can see this stitching again on these back panels to pull the garment into you to get the maximum possible warmth you can get. Down works so well, it insulates so well because it drapes, takes your body shape, it drapes closely to your body. So this here is designed to just pull it in and get a really close a closeness of the insulation to get the air held very close to you, so you get the insulation from the air that the down is holding. Okay, so this is, as I say, it's rated at -30. Now you'd take this, as I say, you'd take this if you had, if you really feel the cold, if you're really nervous of the cold, you're always feeling the cold, then this is perfect for these sorts of scenarios. But equally, it's suitable for other expeditions to colder places, Himalayan peaks and so on, Island Peak and Mirror Peak and things like that. So if you've got ambitions to do colder and higher things, or if you're doing things that make you puts you in the place in a very cold way. If, for instance, you're a photographer and you're taking a lot of taking photos day or night, and you're really having to be still for a long period, then extra warmth is a real consideration. So the Hispar here is the warmest of the 3 jackets that I would recommend. Okay, so there we have the 3 jackets, the 3 down jackets that we recommend for Cotopaxi and Chimborazo mountains, which require you're at very high altitude, so there's potential for altitude sickness or for feeling the effects of altitude. There's potential for severe cold and stormy weather, and because of these very early starts way before the sun hits the snow and trying to get up and down early in the day, the coldest parts of the night and day and so on, you really do need to consider very warm equipment. So these are 3 recommendations for those mountains. All right, cheers.